What's up, guys? It's Joel, Punisher's Paintball. Today we are here to discuss a very popular topic of conversation, guys. Why would you potentially upgrade your paintball gun? So with that said, make sure that you like and subscribe to this video. We'll see you guys after the intro. Alrighty, guys, so we are here to discuss why you would potentially want to upgrade your paintball gun. This is for anybody from the beginner perspective all the way up to the most advanced player that you can think of. So with that said, you may be a beginner paintball player and you might be thinking about why would you want to upgrade into a more advanced marker. We've got a widespread here of beginner paintball guns all the way up to the most advanced paintball guns. There are definitely a few factors that you need to take into consideration whether or not you're going to upgrade and take that next leap of faith, both financially as well as just from a commitment perspective, into something more expensive. So with that said, we've got the Tippmann, that's going to be like your basic level paintball gun. We've got the Tippmann A5 here. You've also got the Tippmann 98 Custom, or maybe you have a basic level when it comes to like a Spider Victor or something that you bought on a package level that just came with beginner level stuff, and you're potentially thinking about upgrading that. Or maybe you don't even have a paintball gun and you're thinking about, hey, which way do I want to go when it comes to, do I want to start with a $200 paintball gun, or do I want to go more expensive? Do I want to start with a pneumatic paintball gun, which means that it's mechanical, or do I want to go to one of these electronic paintball guns? So there's multiple factors that have to come into play. First and foremost, if you're a beginner and you either don't have a paintball gun or you have a very basic paintball gun, is do you want to upgrade? I think the most important topic of conversation when you think about that, or the most important topic that you have to think about, is whether or not you're going to be playing a lot. That's the most important thing that I think about when people come into the store. They ask me, hey, I've got this, $50, $100 paintball gun. I am thinking about upgrading. What would you recommend? And my first question to them is always, how much do you play? If you play a lot, and also what are your goals with playing? But if you play a lot, then it definitely improves the experience when it comes to that. You definitely get a better experience if you have a nice marker that you don't have to worry about chopping paintballs with. You're going to get better efficiency with, you're going to get better reliability. It's going to be more lightweight. Those are common things in the paintball community that you're thinking about if you're trying to upgrade your paintball gun. The other thing too is, if you want higher rates of fire, you're going to want to jump to the electronics level of paintball gun as compared to just your basic Tippmann or your Planet Clips like EMEC. That's going to be pneumatic. It's going to be a higher level pneumatic paintball gun like the ETHA 3M. That's also a popular option. But with that said, if you're only going to play a few times a year, guys, I'd recommend probably sticking with what you have, to be honest with you. There's no major reason to upgrade if you're only playing once every other month. But if you want something that's, once again, going to be more efficient, it's going to offer you a better day of paintball because it's not going to break any paint. It's going to offer higher rates of fire, better reliability, then you're going to want to upgrade. So the next leap of faith there that you'd be looking at is spending anywhere from about $300 to $500. We've got the Empire Mini GS right here, which is very popular, like entry-level electronic marker. It's going to be reliable, it's going to be efficient, but it's not going to have the bells and whistles of these other markers that we have laid out here. But you are going to be able to shoot 10, 15 balls a second reliably with no issues, and have a really good time with it. And for the most part, they're very reliable. They only have usually about 2 different things here that we see at the store that cause them to break down, and those are relatively easy to not only diagnose but to repair. So the Mini GS is a great kind of like entry level $300 to $400 price point. You've also got the Planet Clips ETHA 3, which is the electronic version, and that's going to be plastic composite, but also offer really great features. So you've got like that $300 to $500 price range. Those $300 to $500 price range markers between the Empire Mini GS, the Dye CZR, and the ETHA 3 are going to offer you really good performance, but it's not going to have any of the extra bells and whistles when it comes to ergonomics, when it comes to OLED screens and all that stuff. Then your next step is going to be that $1,000 price point, which is going to be the Shocker Era. The Dye DSR Plus is what we have right here, and the Planet Eclipse G-Tech 180R. Those are going to offer you really good high-end performance. You're going to be able to play a paintball tournament with that. You're going to be able to travel with that, play scenario events with that. Most of those, I think actually all three of those options are going to offer you a mech frame, so you can actually downgrade it into a mechanical form and then switch it and make it electronic again, which is really nice. Some of those markers are going to have toolless features like your toolless bolt removal, where the Mini GS does not. So as you guys can see here, this Dye DSR Plus, you just press the button on the back, slides out your bolt, so it's going to be very easy to maintain. Pop that back in. That is not going to be the case with the Mini GS. The Etho 3 does offer that, the Dye CZR does not. So the Etho 3, you're also spending $550 as compared to $300 or $400 for the Empire Mini GS and the Dye CZR. So bolt removal is definitely one thing. Battery exchange is also another thing. Like the Shocker Era is at $995, but it's gonna require 3 Allen keys to remove your 9-volt battery, whereas the Dye DSR Plus as well as the G-Tech 180R is going to be toolless. So maybe you're in that $300 to $500 price range, you want to upgrade one more time. I think the next price point that you should consider is the Shocker Era, the Dye DSR Plus, or the G-Tech 180R. If you're playing maybe a few times a month, then it probably makes sense to make that upgrade, right? If you're only playing, once every other month, or you're playing a couple times a year, the Mini GS is probably going to do the trick. It's going to offer you all the performance that you need with none of the extra bells and whistles. It's like a car. It's going to get you to and from, but it's not going to do anything extra for you. Now, if you're playing a bunch, then having those extra features like the toolless bolt removal and toolless battery exchange, those features are really nice. It's basically, if you're playing and you're having an issue, you're going to be able to take that marker down, break it down, fix what you need to, maintenance it, put it back together, and you're going to be back on the field in no time flat. The next thing that we're going to talk about is whether or not does it make sense for you if you have one of these mid-level markers that are really, really good, offer high-level performance. Some of them offer the same features as your really high-end markers. Does it make sense for you to spend that extra money, potentially take this marker, trade it in with Punishers, or just buy another marker and go to these really high-end markers like the infamous CS3 or the DLX Lux Idol? And that, I would say, is, are you playing tournament paintball and are you playing a lot? If you're playing pretty much every weekend and you're thinking about getting into tournament level style paintball, if you can afford it, then I'd say it is worth it. There are some extra bells and whistles that you're going to get with, like, say, the DLX Lux Idol or the CS3 that you're not going to get with that mid-level. Ergonomics is going to be one thing, efficiency is going to be another. Extra small bells and whistles like having a full-size OLED screen on the marker, being able to disassemble the marker like with the Lux Idol. It has 2 latches, so I will show you guys this real quick here. Granted, you're spending $1,800, but you are getting extra features here. So this one actually uses just a latch mechanism, and the marker completely disassembles and goes back together without any extra tools, which is a really nice feature with the Lux Idol that's only offered with that marker. The infamous CS3, you're going to get amazing reliability from it. You're going to get really cool colors, really cool milling with the CS3, and it's just going to be tried and true, super reliable. You're also going to get better cases if you spend extra money, so where you're storing the markers, you're going to get that. You're going to get basically the top line. So your mid-level marker is going to be kind of like your Mercedes, whereas like the CS3, the DLX Lux Idol, or the Dye M3 Plus is going to be like that Ferrari, right? Like, it's going to leave no restrictions to anything. It's going to offer you the best of everything, and you're really going to get that high-end performance. In that sense, I would definitely say if you're able to do it both financially and you're playing a lot, whether it's tournament paintball or if you're playing a bunch on the scenario side of things, these markers are great and they're going to offer you everything that you need. So with that said, guys, I definitely think that there are different scenarios where it makes sense to upgrade your paintball gun. I also think that If you aren't playing a bunch, then maybe it doesn't. But I think really the biggest thing that I was trying to say in this video is it kind of depends on what you're trying to expect out of your investment. Really, at the end of the day, what you're looking for is you're looking for a return on your investment. You're looking to enjoy these paintball markers. And it really depends on, am I playing a lot and what am I trying to do? What are my goals and ambitions? If I'm trying to play a bunch and advance my paintball career and become a competitive divisional player or become a professional player, then it does make sense to spend that money. If you're just really into tech and you really want the top line level of stuff, if you're, just all about having the nicest things, then it definitely makes sense to purchase like a DLX Lux Idol or a CS3 or a Dye M3 Plus. If you're looking for top level functionality, but you really don't care about like the extra little bells and whistles and you just want something that's going to do the trick and do the job for you, but you still play a decent amount, the mid-level gun is probably what I'd recommend. The Dye DSR Plus, the G-Tech 180R, or the Shocker Arrow. And then if you're just kind of like a weekend warrior, whether it's, you go to big games and you play scenario paintball, or if you play once every, play at your local field once every while and you play speedball or what the case may be, then the Mini GS or the Etho 3 Dye CZR is also going to offer you those options. And then you've got your pneumatic, entry-level paintball marker. If you're not playing a bunch and you only play at like a birthday party a year, whatever the case may be, then the Tippmann is going to do the trick for you, but is not going to offer you any of the extra bells and whistles. It's going to be the roughest shot. It is going to be the least efficient. It's going to be the hardest on the paint. What's cool is you can definitely get really good paintball marker for $300 to $400 at this point. The Etho 3M on the mechanical side of things from Planet Eclipse is a great pneumatic mechanical paintball gun. You've got the Mini GS, which is going to be offered if you want electronic and you want higher rates of fire. So it really kind of depends on what you're looking for and what, once again, your goals and ambitions are and how much you play. So with that said, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that it helped you make a decision if you're thinking about upgrading your paintball gun. Make sure that you leave any comments in the section. If you have any questions for us, we will do our best to make sure that we answer those. And feel free to give us a call here at the store if you're thinking about upgrading one of these. We do also take trade-ins, guys, so if you have like, a Mini GS and you're thinking about upgrading to a mid-level, or you have a mid-level and you're thinking about upgrading, or maybe you even have a Tippmann and you're thinking about getting into a Mini GS, we do take trade-ins here, guys, here at Punishers. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope this helped you guys and was educational. We'll see you guys next time.